February and March feel like we're stuck between two versions of ourselves. One week, we're losing in the league 2-0 to Manchester United, and then we've got them again in the FA Cup, and we knock them out. It's just a bit frustrating. Big wins, frustrating defeats, and cup dreams that end is all in this episode. So I shall show you all the goals shortly. But like I say, there's literally two versions of ourselves in this episode. So this season, I feel it's balanced on the finest of margins, because some of the wins and some of the draws that we do get, we just sit 1 point off the European places towards the end of the episode. So currently we're sitting in 7th. Quite a bit of point difference between us and Spurs. Man United a higher flying as well. That's probably why we lost in the league, and so Newcastle. So Man United were towards the relegation places last season on this save. So they've changed their fortunes around. So have we, though. We're not laying that to rest. We're doing much better than what we were doing in terms of where we were last season. So I'm pretty pleased. But yeah, like I say, a bit difficult sometimes as well. And some food for thought for me as well, because some players just don't seem to be performing as well as I'd like, and they've been around for a few seasons now, so definitely some food for thought for me. So as I said in the last episode, we lost our star centre back Charlie Hughes, but Benjamin Arthur and Josh have been doing such a great job in that centre defence, and I'm going to have a look at maybe Jamie McDonnell and playing Wesley Ada as a starter for a little bit as well, because literally the last game against Man United, Jamie McDonnell got a 5.9, the lowest rating I've had for a player for a long time since playing this save. So, and looking at his stats, Jamie McDonnell over time, he's not progressing on that championship season that he had with us. So yeah, quite frustrating that he's not performing, because he's our captain as well, which is a bit awkward. So I'll show you some of the FA Cup goals now that we got back against Manchester United. So they beat us 2-0 in the league, but we came back for revenge in the FA Cup. And this is the league match first, sorry. Like I say, Jamie McDonnell mixed up in all sorts of business there, and is just not getting a good rating in that match at all. So like I say, I'm going to have a look at him, have a look at his performances over the rest of the games. And I thought Hoyland handballed it. They did check the goal for VAR, but I thought he handballed it. I thought he did a Maradona. I'll have to watch that again, because I'm pretty sure I swear to this day he handballed that. But yeah, not to be in that league match, unfortunately. But like I say, we get our revenge and we knock them out of the FA Cup, shatter their cup dreams for once, which is great. And Zimas, who has been very, very good signing on loan, remember, with the option to buy, and he seems to be getting in and around the goals. He's either building up to a lead of a goal, or he's setting people up, scoring them. So that's what I want from my centre forward, as I've changed the tactics. Rather than doing a target forward, which I had done in the past, I've now done a central forward with the wide forwards on each side, because Martinez, like I say, Zimas again, setting up Martinez and Philogene getting the goals as well, being in amongst those goals, which is great. Drexler didn't have the best of matches here. He gave away a penalty, and Brentford win this game, unfortunately. And you'll see a little pattern forming across February. It was very strange when I looked at the end of February and I saw the string of 2-0 results. So it's one of those where it just unfortunately happens. You lose 2-0, win 2-0, lose 2-0, win 2-0. Sorry. So yeah, it was quite funny to see that pattern emerging. And like I say, we were so tight in defence at one point. So I'm also thinking, is that because we've lost our star centre back that we now seem to be leaking a few more goals? It's something that I need to, but like I say, Benjamin Arthur has been playing such a strong role there when he's been stepped up. He's a fringe player, but he's stepped up, and he's doing a job for us, and a rare Burstow goal for the team as well there. So yeah, like I say, I think maybe a priority over the summer, if we can stay in the Premier League, is probably looking at the centre back options, having a look at if Drexler and Benjamin Arthur are the answer. Maybe having a look at a goalkeeper as well. I dread to think that I should be saying that, because Sam Tickle he's been there throughout thick and thin for us, but it's something else that I might have to consider is the goalkeeping options. And I mean, there's always looking for ways to strengthen the team, dependent on budget as well, because we do have that 14 million that we had at the end of the January transfer window at the last episode. So it'll be, how do we spend our money wisely? How do we strengthen this team? And relying on the scouts, because they've picked some good gems for us so far, and I've invested in a lot of talent as well, so I'll have to consider how they're going to form into the team too. And then Philogene, making sure that we win 2-0 against Bournemouth with his absolute trademark, cutting in the inside and getting that goal. And Fulham, when I saw who was in the team, like Pert Harris and Kevin seems to be that player that's the thorn in the side. Every single game that we have against Fulham, Kevin is involved in the goals. If you look back through my videos, you'll see Kevin for Fulham always scoring. So as soon as I see him on the lineup, I just know he's going to be causing us trouble. It's quite funny that a player has that sort of impact when you see the team sheet on the opposition, and you just think, yeah, it's going to be one of those games. And Pert Harris set up Kevin, and he didn't finish there. He had an agenda and poor defending on our side, with Benjamin Arthur having a rare occasion of an error, and Pert Harris capitalising on that and sending us a reminder of why we shouldn't have got rid of him. But it was too good enough offer to turn down. So like I say, bit of a pattern emerging. 2-0 games across the whole of February, which is very rare. Don't get to see them a lot. So we're scoring and then we're conceding, but we've conceded more than we've scored. So it's again having a look at how do you tighten that defence up with what you've got. So I have rotated Benjamin Arthur and Josh around a few times. So we've got March, which I'm going to cover in this episode. We've got Stockport, Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. So we are through to the 5th round against Stockport, and we're still currently sitting in 7th, and there's a lot of teams amongst us that are around similar points, but we are sliding back a bit now because Brentford are 9 points ahead of us, and like 10th place Crystal Palace are a point behind us. But we've got that really good goal difference, and we've conceded one of the least, second least team to concede the goals. Sort of positive thing that we're going to take out of that is the amount of goals that we are scoring in comparison to what we're conceding. So that's a good sign. And looking at the players, like I say, Sam Tickle, I did give him an extended contract. So like talking about before, do I have a look at Sam Tickle? I mean, it's hard because look how many, ever since he's come in for 4.5 million, he's kept lots of clean sheets. He's played every single game almost for us. He's had 2 full seasons, look, 38 and 46 games in the Championship and the Premier League, and he's always improving. So, and he's still fairly young for a goalkeeper. So I think I'm going to stick with Sam Tickle, but have a look at maybe if there's options out there in the summer. And like I say, Benjamin Arthur's coming into his own, playing very well, considering he was a fringe player, and Josh Apachamon has been playing well as well. Jamie McDonnell, like I say, just doesn't seem to just play well at this level, which is a shame because he's our captain, but he had that one good season in the Championship, but he just doesn't seem to be getting anywhere near those heights in the Premier League. So it's starting to make me think, is he not bound for Premier League at all? I mean, look, 7.1 average rating from the games he played in the Championship, but he hasn't got to those heights at all in the last 2 seasons. Good stats, but potentially maybe I should be having a look to offload him and bring someone in that can potentially play at this level and take us forward, because I feel he's one that is holding us back, unfortunately, even though he's the captain, because our next lower rated players are the ones that are coming off the bench or not playing as many games as Jamie McDonnell. So going to be one of those that I'm going to enjoy the summer having a look at, but also it'll be hard to get rid of some of the players that we got attached to. And then looking at some of our loan players as well, they're having some good spells out. I mean, Pierce Charles hasn't played as much as we'd like, which is very frustrating. James Wilson, he's having a really good season in the Scottish Premiership. Harry Gray, he's got 6 games there, but he's had a good time with Coventry as well, so he's knocking on the door of coming into the team. Ossie Akuma, who's our academy player, so is Hartley and Mohammed. Patrick I might get rid of. Ian Holland. Ben Nink is another player that's been playing very well and could help with our defence if our defence issues. So yeah, one to look at as well. And Tyler Watkins got in nowhere near the games that we'd like with Sheffield Wednesday, which is really annoying as well. But that's the team. That's how everything's looking, and I have bought Stefanos Zimas, as you might see there. So just going over that, I triggered his option loan to buy option. Sorry, so he's coming in, and then I'm having a look at some of the defensive midfielders because obviously we were talking about Jamie McDonald. So there's a few there that I'd like, maybe scout, but I think we might have a better understanding in the summer when people are out of contract or people get relegated, teams get relegated, and there'll be more players on option and available to us. And then we have Stockport in the fifth round of the FA Cup, and we progressed quite nicely with a 3-0 win over Stockport, who were in League One. It was quite surprising to see some of their players still there, like Lewis Bate and Ethan Pye, players that I'd looked at whilst we were in the Championship, because some of the scouts were saying that them two were good players, and I think I was outpriced because I just didn't have the money at the time to bring them in, so that was unfortunate. But yeah, it was quite funny when you see players that you've scouted before but they're still at the same team. And then Rigo doing a famous Philogene trademark goal, and Andri Santos had an absolute blinder for us in this game. He was in amongst the goals, setting them up, scoring them, and he is impressing me so far. So that was a nice 3-0 win against Stockport. And then our following game was back to the league, and we're playing the league leaders, Newcastle. So a difficult game indeed, and we drew 0-0 against them last time, so we held our own. And again, we held them to a draw. Let's say they held us. We held them to a draw, which was a very good result for us because they are flying at the top of the table. Got such a good team. They've spent wisely. I mean, they've got the financial backing, but they've also got some of the youth players in amongst some experienced members of the team as well. So yeah, Newcastle are a very difficult team to play at the moment. So I'm very, very happy that we walked away with the draw again. So the league leaders not putting us to the sword and not beating us, so that was good to see. And as you might have noticed, Ada is in the defensive midfield position and was playing very well. Sidney Peck, I might need to mention him as well, because he's gone down, he's gone backwards a bit in terms of his ability, which is a bit frustrating because he was a starter for us and he's been playing well, but according to my assistant manager's rating of him, and Martinez as well, saying what Rigo and Philogene can do, I can do better. But yeah, back to Peck, and it was saying that he's no longer like a Premiership League player, so you might see that Andri Santos is playing a few more games, because they were saying he was at the level of Premier League, and I think that's what I need right now, because we're in amongst the European spaces and the places to get European football. I need players that have got the ability at the moment to get us there. So when my assistant manager's telling me he's only Championship level for Peck, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to swap him out with someone that is deemed decent Premier League ability at the moment, because they're the people that are going to keep helping us drive forward to those places. And it was a 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest as well. Again, frustrating because they're towards the bottom of the table, but they have beaten us in that Carabao Cup semi-final, if you recall, if you've watched the previous episode. So again, one of those teams that are thorn in the side. And then we were in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, and Liverpool showing us their quality and knocking us out. It was only 1 goal in it, So another cup run comes to an end, but that's the furthest we've got in the FA Cup, so I'm quite pleased. We've had 2 good cup runs, and we're flying high in the Premier League as well still. So we've got to recall this is a youthful side that have been predicted to finish 16th now. It was originally 19th, but we were 16th when I last looked. So the fact that we're still high up in the table and no one near that relegation battle is a testament to the team that we've put together. And like I say, yeah, it was a 1-0 loss. We're out of the cup, so that's another European chance gone, but that's fine. We can focus on the league for the last remaining 8 games, and it's so close. I mean, we're far off 6th against Brentford, but Chelsea were in 7th. They're only a point above us, and we're in amongst it there. But I will have to have a look at who won the Carabao Cup, because I think it was Nottingham Forest, and if that's the case, then 7th place is no longer up for grabs, so I'll have to keep an eye out who wins the FA Cup as well, and maybe European football is out of contention for us this season, but it's something that we can build to for next season, because I do think we're not going to go down. And like I say, this is me confirming then the ability of Sidey Peck going down, which was a bit of a shame. So yes, really upset about that one, because I really rate him, but you know, if that's what I'm being told in my reports, then I gotta go by that information. So yes, Andrew Santos is starting, but he's got good ratings. Look at that, 7.13 average. So you know, he's playing very well. And then Q's another player that might not be getting the greens, so I might have to have a look at who we bring in or who we can play in left back option, because we do have Scally coming over onto the left a few times at the moment because we lost Kabar. So there's a few positions I think I'll need to have a think of and bring in for the summer, and then a few players that I'll probably need to offload as well, and maybe have a look at some of those that are on loan and the youth talent, see if they can come into the first team fray as well. So yeah, lots to think about, and we're into the final 8 games, so I'm going to try and push us as high as we can and finish better than what we finished last season. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Stay cheeky.